Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. We envision the emergence of the global heart to further the evolution of humanity. A world free of homelessness, violence, hunger, and separation. A world of generous and continuous sharing of heart and resources. We see a world with renewed emphasis on beauty, nature, creativity, and art. A world where all life prospers and grows. All you need is love. Come on, let me hear ya. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. Now listen up. We honor the interconnectedness of all life as one global family. The spiritual community of Centers for Spiritual Living dynamically empowers the vision of global heart. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. We are a global community of inspired individuals caring for and about each other, bringing the gift of active compassion and kindness to the world. So what do we need? Here we go. All we need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Again, love is all you need. Come on, let me hear you sing again. Here we go, everybody here. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. Let's do it one more time. Here we go, here we go. All you need is love. Come on, let me hear ya. All you need is love. Woo! All you need is love, love. Love is all you need.
Woo! All righty. Aloha. Aloha. You look wonderful today, by the way. We have a few announcements before we get started. The first one is, this is a wonderful, wonderful place on Sunday where we create a safe space, a sacred space. So if there's you need to get more coffee, you need anything, it would be really nice if you did it now. That way we can continue to not have any interruptions during that. Also, please turn off all your cell phones. There we go. I see it. I see the little slide down. Yes, I see it. Like, not me. But we also have, right afterwards today, we'll have a little break after, and then we will come and join in the circle for Rap with the Revs. And unlike last week, it is not an actual rap. It is an actual getting to know one another in our community and see what's going on there. So please, please join us. Oh, and one more. Power of decision. Who likes making decisions? So I'll see you Wednesday. I'll see you Wednesday. And if it's not necessary, then we won't see you Wednesday. But most people I know would need a little bit of power of decision. So we'll see you Wednesday at 6 o'clock right here. I expect it to be as full as what I'm looking at right now. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
By the way, that's Reverend Patrick. I'm Reverend Rita. And over here is Doreen and Doug, our music directors. And again, we welcome you again today. And the next thing we want you to know about is the path to prosperity, or the path of prosperity. Next Sunday, a wonderful man, Terry Taylor, who is a good friend of ours, a colleague, and also a a founding member of this center and a staunch supporter of this center, is bringing himself all the way here to teach us about prosperity at a deeper level. He's flying himself here, he's feeding us, but the only stipulation is you have to sign up ahead of time, all right? There's a sign up in the back. You can call and sign up, but we have to know because of food who's coming. You cannot walk in the door to this next Sunday, and it will take place after service. It's just, there is no cost for it besides a love donation. And everybody's welcome. You don't have to be a member of this church. Everybody is welcome, okay? But you have to sign up. Did you hear me? Yeah. What? To sign up first, exactly. Or Ron Stover will ask you to leave. No.
With love, he'll ask you to leave.
Okay. Actually, that with 4 or 5. Okay, and then another thing that's happening on June 13th, something different. We're trying to explore, or we are exploring, different modes of meditation. Meditation is a very important part of our life as science of mind and religious scientists, Centers for Spiritual Living, whatever you want to call it. It's an important part for all of us. So we're exploring different types of meditation. And this, Thursday, June 13th at 6:30, we're bringing a woman in. Her name is Dawn Eve, and she's doing a special type of meditation. This is called Rediscovering Self-Love and Increasing Abundance. And she'll be doing a guided visualization. She'll also give us some tools for meditating. So that's June 13th from 6:30 to 8. And again, these things are on your program. And then one more thing.
And then we are having a celebration in July. I'm not going to say the date because that's not important right now. But what is important is we're having a silent auction. And so Emma, where's my Emma? There's Emma. So Emma is would you stand for a moment? If you have any items that you would like to donate, please go to Emma, and they have a wonderful committee together, and they'll be collecting it for the silent auction in July. And here's a little FYI. The reason I'm not saying the date is because every time we talk about it, you guys call us and say, is next week Lidgate? So all I'm going to say is it is in July. And as it gets closer, we'll tell you the exact date. But in the meantime, we have to get that silent auction stuff going.
All right. Is that it, Patrick?
It's all authentic, all true, Rita.
Okay. So it is, this month is about rising up and deciding. And so what I know is that as we go through this month, that we're all going to make those important decisions that we have been putting off, but they're done now. This is the month to decide. So let's just take a deep breath. I'm going to invite Michelle Millamay up, one of our practitioners. We're changing the format a little bit. We're going to light our peace candle. Michelle will light it. And we're going to take a moment now to center on peace, that peace within each of us, centering ourselves here and now, allowing ourselves to just move ourselves into our heart center for a few moments and just focus on that heart center, breathing in and out from that space. Peace is, and so it is. And now Michelle Millamay will lead us in our time of contemplation.
Good morning, everyone. As we take this peaceful, wonderful feeling and just invite you to bring it a little bit deeper, knowing that this chair is fully supporting you in this sacred and safe space. Taking a nice, deep, collective breath. As we have our few minutes of contemplation, if it feels comfortable to close your eyes, feel free to do so. If it feels comfortable to leave them open, you can do that as well, knowing that it's safe. Taking one more deep breath, going right into that God center that already is perfect. I have a seed thought, if you choose to take in, from Harry Styles. A dream is just a dream until you decide to make it real. A dream is just a dream until you decide to make it real. A dream is just a dream until you decide to make it real. As these words reverberate inside, and as you bring your consciousness right to this moment, knowing that in this moment and from moment to moment to moment is exactly where God is. For there is only one mind, one source, one life. It's all one, and it is love. That is why in each moment, the decision is already made. The answers are already inside. And because there is not a spot where God is not, God is everywhere, seen and unseen. And because I know this, I know that every cell of my being is God. I am God in action, and because I know this for myself, I know this for each and every person in this room, online, and on this planet. God in action. And because of this, and in each moment, that answer inside, a decision is made. And I know that there is a receptivity in each person for a decision of prosperity, a decision in abundance is already been done in the mind of God, and it is received in each life. And I know this same place of decision, this same answer is in health, perfect health of mind, body, soul. The decision has already been made, and the receptivity and the acceptance of this perfection is now. And I know that this same decision, the same God in action, is in creative expression. However that is wanting to unfold, whatever that looks like in each and every person's life, there is a decision in this moment to express, to allow God to flow through in each person's perfect, unique way, now, in this moment. And I know that this same energy is in all our relations, with ourselves, with our families, friends, the community, the world, the galaxy. It's all that same love energy, that same receptivity of the decision that is made now. And I am so grateful for this time, for this community, for this divine appointment called life, knowing that in each moment there is a choice, there is a decision that's already been done in the mind of God, and I just flow with it. I'm grateful for the time, and my heart is just overflowing with gratitude as I release my word as law, knowing it's already been done in the mind of God. And together we affirm it. And so it is.
Thank you. Mahalo, Michelle.
Thank you. So let's
Okay,
just
well,
bring
welcome
ourselves
again.
back. Wiggle our toes. Open our eyes if they've been closed.
And if you just came in, I'm Reverend Patrick, and this
I'm
is Reverend Rita.
And we're ready to party now.
We are. We are.
We're all centered and ready to go. So welcome to
nice.
Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, where we practice the science of mind and spirit. And we're really grateful to say that we practice the science of mind and spirit, which recognizes each and every one of us as divine intelligence. That is what you are. You're the divine presence. It's moving and living and breathing through you as you right now, right here and right now. And all you have to do is recognize it and start living your life from that place, taking that to your challenges, if you have challenges, taking that to your life, taking that to your fun, taking that to everything, and watch your life unfold in an even greater way. So welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. I'm grateful to have you here, and I'm grateful to be here today. So grateful.
And who is here for the very first time and is not afraid to say it? There we go. 1, 2. There, you are here for the very first time. We're all here for the very first time in the mind of God, if you moment to moment, right? But for you that have shells around your neck, just to let you know that we know something about you, and if you don't mind, we'd like to share it just with everybody. You ready? Everybody ready? Okay. You are magnificent. You are
magnificent.
If you could see where we are from up, if you could see yourselves from up here, it's just like, sure, go ahead. Oh, thank goodness. So we know that about you, and I'm going to let you in on a little secret. The reason we know that is because we know that about ourselves. Just like peace. How could we have peace if we're not peaceful within our own self? So we know that we are magnificent, so that we know you are. So shall we all say it together? I am magnificent. Oh, and it just goes on even more. If you look behind you, there's a man with like different kind of ears, and he has a camera going, and it is, look at it, it's just moving around, right? And it's moving, and there are people watching us. Michael and Carrie are watching us today.
Maybe
and this is like
Analia.
a very romper room moment. I see my friend Gladys.
How about Analia?
And Annalea's over on Oahu. We love you. Mwah.
She's healing over
so
there.
let them know that we know they're there by letting them know who they are, shall we? You are magnificent. Now, just look to your left, to your right. I don't care where you look. Just let somebody know that they are magnificent. You're magnificent. You're magnificent. Don's magnificent. You're magnificent. Luis is magnificent.
You are magnificent. We have something
For Isaac.
Don't leave without it.
So there you go. Let's get on our magnificent feet and have our opening song. Are you ready? Reverend Patrick's calm today. Don't worry.
I am ready. I am ready. I am ready to create. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready to create. I am open. I am open. I am open to receive. I am open. I am open. I am open to receive. 'Cause something amazing is changing in me. And something sacred is awakened in me. 'Cause something amazing is changing in me. And something sacred is awakened in me.
So let's take a moment. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Keep them wide open. Let's go within and just breathe within. Something sacred, something amazing is happening right here and right now within each and every one of us. I can feel it. I can feel the change. I can feel the empowerment of decision. I can feel the empowerment of spirit moving through each and every one of us. I claim it, I announce it, I allow it, and I accept it. And I know today's service, today, us meeting here together as one in one consciousness, I know that that change, that decision, that empowerment, that amazing thing which happens within us comes forward in an even greater way in each of our lives individually, good for each of us in our own individual way. So I claim the service as perfect. I claim it as unfolding perfectly. I claim each and every person here as love, as an expression of love and as an expression of power. And I claim that power as myself and each and every one of us. As I take this word with great mahalo in advance for the perfect unfoldment of every moment, as I release it, I let it go as we affirm together, and so it is.
I am ready. I am ready. I am ready to create. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready to create. I am open. I am open. I am open to receive. I am open. I am open. I am open to receive. 'Cause something amazing is changing in me. And something sacred is awakened in me. 'Cause something amazing is changing in me. And something sacred is awakened in me.
Beautiful. Okay. As you can see, we've changed up the service a little bit, tightening it up, trying to get the flow going, opening up, and it's time for me to talk already. So that's good. Talk already, yeah. So this is like an amazing month for me, and we're going to be studying this book by Raymond Charles Barker called The Power of Decision. Yes. Oh my God, that book changed my life because it made me realize that all I had to do was make a decision. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. The talk title is Just Decide. It sounds really simple, right? Just decide. And yet so many people will say they can't, or they don't know what they should do, or, you know, there's a lot of stuff in the way. They see the obstacles and they can't make a decision, when in reality you do know. And the times you say you can't decide, usually I know for myself, are the times I'm just procrastinating making the decision that I know I have to make. But it all comes from knowing who you are, knowing, as Raymond Charles Barker says in his book, and as all the New Thought people say, that we are divine intelligence, and we're dealing with divine intelligence. So he says we should deal with it intelligently. But he's very point blank. But we don't always deal with it intelligently. I mean, not that we're stupid or something, but sometimes we don't. We make these decisions that for our life that maybe aren't serving us, and we just think that we can't change. And because we have a universe that corresponds to us according to what we think and how we act and what we feel about ourselves, we get back exactly what we're putting out into it. So I know for myself, decision is really important. Have you ever been in a situation where you're kind of waiting for the outside circumstances to change before you make a decision? Like, oh, I'll do this when I have this, or I'll do this when this person is doing this, or I'll do this when I have enough of this, or whatever. That's not the way the universe works. The universe works by us moving with it and making a firm decision of what we want to create in our lives, because we are the creators of our destiny. And I am telling you that is the truth for me, because I've proven it. I am the creator of my destiny. But if I wait, like I wait to see what the weather's going to be like, and I mean the emotional weather, before I decide how I'm going to be. You know what I mean by the emotional weather, okay? Before I decide, I mean, I've been in experiences where, you know, you don't know how the person's going to be. The moment you walk in the door, you're like, what's the weather going to be today, you know, in a job or something like that. But so you're waiting for that person to act a certain way before you decide how you're going to be. Whereas if you just walk into the experience knowing who you are and how you're going to be, then the situation is going to change. It's just going to change because you're going to be experiencing it from a different place. So that's one of the things. So deciding what it is ahead of time, before, deciding the experience you want to have beforehand, deciding how you want to show up beforehand. And if you know who you are, which is the divine intelligence that I just said, then you're showing up as that. And that makes a big difference. That's what you're bringing to your challenges. That's what you're bringing to your relationships. That's what you're bringing to your life. So as Michelle was saying in her treatment, I think it was your treatment, that it's already there. We already know. It's already there. It's that question that we have, is the answer is already there. But sometimes we don't want to hear the answer, or we don't want to make the changes necessary. So where do I want to go with this? Because I have so many things. I'm going to read you a couple of quotes because they're really good, and then we'll talk about them. So this is another thing that holds people back. Any wrong decision you have made will become unimportant when your attention has shifted from it to a creative reason for living right here and right now. Okay, so I'm going to read it again. This is a Raymond Charles Barker quote. Any wrong decision you have made, that you consider a wrong decision, will become unimportant when your attention has shifted from it to a creative reason for living right here and right now. So a lot of times people will come in counseling sessions and things and talking and conversations, and they'll say things like, oh, I made all these mistakes in the past, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? You hear it from your friends or whatever, and they think they can't change. So they're focused on the mistake that they made or what they thought they made, because I don't believe in mistakes. I believe everything's for a reason. Everything that happens is for a reason. But maybe they didn't make the greatest decision or whatever. And they're holding on to that and saying now, okay, but they keep going back to the past. We cannot create from the past. So let it go. You have to be able to decide to let it go and to move into the creativity of the present moment. Right? Does it make sense? It's the only thing. I know it works. I know it. Okay, he goes on to say, we are pure intelligence, and I said that before, and our job is to align with it and use it. It's here. It's all here for us. It's all here. It's just our only job is to align with it and use it. How simple does that sound? This teaching is so simple, and we make it so complicated. And then he says, what is the estimate of yourself? That is your life. However you estimate yourself, that is your life. He's really blunt, okay? So he says, if you want a different life, you have to upgrade your self-image. You have to upgrade your self-image, and your life will upgrade. This is so true. I've done it myself. I used to be like a sleep on the couch type of person. That's the way I was, and that's okay for people. I'm not saying everybody should do what they do. But I came to a point in my life where I didn't want to sleep on the couch anymore when I went to visit somebody. I wanted to have my own space, but I had to upgrade my image to say to myself, I deserve that. Deserving is a big thing. I had to decide that I deserved to have a better experience than that, and that I wasn't the person that slept on the floor at my sister's house when I went to visit, that I actually had the opportunity to upgrade that. Now, like I said, that was me, but I had to come to the decision finally that I wasn't that person anymore. I had to decide that I wanted more, and then the universe corresponded and assisted me, and my world began to open up. More prosperity came in, things happened. I don't even know how it happened. That's the other thing. You don't even know how it's going to happen. If you're decided and you decide something, the universe backs you, and you will find yourself living the life you imagined. I think that's a quote. Anyway, it's my quote now. Living the life you imagined, and you won't know how it happened because you lived it. You started to live it from where you were, okay? Let's see, what else? Your life, it's the one in your program. Your life becomes the thing you have decided it shall be. You get to decide how your life will be, and you don't get to use the excuse that this person's this way, therefore I can't be this way. You can use that excuse, but then you're not deciding. You're allowing outside circumstances to decide what your life will be. So I found this guy this morning. He's a Texas tycoon. I don't know much about him, and I don't really care, but I liked his quote. His name, I don't know if he's even still alive. His name is H.L. Hunt. Does anybody recommend him? Okay. Well, apparently he had a lot of great things to say. But he said this, and I thought it was really good, and I took this in this morning. He said there's only 3 requirements for success. It's very science of mind. First, decide exactly what it is you want. If you can't decide what you want, and you have to decide what you want, not looking at the circumstances. You can't decide what you want and then say, yeah, but I don't have enough money for that, or, I'm not pretty enough, or I don't know, I'm, too heavy, or whatever you say to yourself, I don't know. You have to decide what it is you want. You have to make the decision first, okay? A lot of people say, I don't know what I want. Well, then that's where you need to start. And you need to go into contemplation about that and meditation and really get in tune, because when you get in tune with the universe within you and you ask the question, it answers and you hear it. It's this quiet, still, powerful voice. Sometimes you don't want to listen to what it has to say because it might be something you didn't want to hear. But you hear it, and it's the truth, and you know it. And then he says, okay, so you have to decide. The second is to determine the price you're going to have to pay to get the thing you want now. Okay, guys, you could look at that like, what price am I going to have to pay? Am I going to have to sacrifice, money? Am I going to have to, move to another place? Am I going to have to leave my wife or husband? That's not what he's talking, or he might be talking about that. I don't know. But what I'm talking about, because I took it from a science of mind perspective, you have to sacrifice determine the price you're going to have to pay to get the things you want. The price you're going to have to pay is you're going to have to let go of an old belief. You're going to have to let go of a consciousness. That's a price you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to let go of a consciousness you have that's stopping you from doing what it is that you think you want to do. Whether that's a consciousness of lack, it's a consciousness of low self-esteem, a belief that, that you can't get well, whatever it is, you're going to have to leave that behind. That's the sacrifice. Well, he doesn't call it a sacrifice, but that's, for me, what sacrifice means. You have to sacrifice your old self for a new self that wants to be born, a new self that's moving through you, that wants to do all those things that you say you want to do and experience and have and be. Ah, it's wonderful. The third one he says, and this is the clincher, the third, and this is most important, you have to resolve to pay that price. You have to be resolved, so resolved in your decision that no matter what shows up that tells you otherwise, that says, I'm not magnificent, I'm poor, you got to face that thing in the face and you got to tell it, no, that is not the truth of who I am. I am divine intelligence. It moves through me, it lives and breathes through me. I am divine intelligence. I am spirit. I am life itself, source. That is what I am. And be gone. You have no place in my life anymore. And it's all consciousness. It's all consciousness. Yeah? Yeah, you get this. I know you guys get this. This is it. Now we just, say amen. No, don't say amen. Let's not start. All right, save it for Patrick. So, yeah, right? Okay. So, what does a decision feel like? It's a deep knowing. You know. It's a deep knowing that says yes, yes. And it's not looking at the outside circumstances. It's just saying, yes, this is what I want for my life. This is what I want to be. Yes, I want to have that perfect mate. I want to be in a beautiful home. I want to have my loved ones around me. I want to, whatever it is, because nothing is impossible to the universe. Nothing, including cold, hard cash. I'm serious. But there's a quote that we read, I think it was Raymond Charles Barker, money is God in action, but it takes money to put God in action. There's nothing wrong with money if that's what you want. There's nothing wrong with it. It's good. All right? It's the slavery to money that isn't good. It's the slavery and the way it makes us feel like, you know, awful and trapped and what? Fear. Yeah, fear. We got some, what do you call it? Collaboration here. Yeah. So, okay, so we know it. The universe moves through our decisions. If you feel fear after you make a decision, you know what that is? No, you know what I think it is? I think it's excitement. I think it's excitement that's saying to you, oh my God, it might come true. It might really come true. And you're like going, I used to tell that to kids when they would get on stage to do the plays. And somebody said it to me, you know, you feel that little butterfly in your stomach and everything. That's just the anticipation of something really wonderful that's happening. It's just look at it that way and it changes the whole perspective. So when those doubts and fears come up, just say, oh, I could actually have this. I'm so excited. Yeah, my heart's like going, woo, all right, okay? So yeah, so you just have to keep going. You just have to keep going in your resolve, all right? And I'm talking to myself now, too. That's all I'm doing is talking to myself, all right? Because I need to make decisions just as much as anybody else because there's never a decision that's final. It's just time for another decision. Right? It just continues on, and a decision is the thing. It is the thing. And I don't know who, I think I was listening to somebody on the internet, and they said this, and I think it's a great question. It said, imagine, I'm going to leave this with you. Imagine that you're 110 years old. Can anybody imagine that? I can. I want to be 110. Ruth can. Ruth is like, I don't know if I want to imagine that. Yes, you do. Okay. Imagine that you're 110 years old. What would you tell yourself right now? Your older, wonderful, wise self is looking back. And what would you tell yourself? all right? So think about that. I think it's good. So this is the month. We're all going to put those procrastinations out of the way. Whatever it is we're going to decide about, and each of us has our own individual thing, we're going to do it. We are doing it already. We have claimed it. That's the other thing. We have claimed it by claiming this month, Rise Up and Decide. We've already claimed it, so it's already happening. And what I love about it is that it's unique. I don't have to tell anybody what their decision is because they know. And so all I need to do as a practitioner, and our practitioner core, is to support you in your decision, to know that it's happening and that it's unfolding perfectly, because it is. So that's what I know about each and every one of you, and I'm very excited. So have at it, and so it is. Thank you, Doreen and Doug. Take it away. I almost fell off my chair.
What would I do if I knew that I could not fail? Would I believe that the wind always filled up my sail? How far would I go? What could I achieve, trusting the hero in me? If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where true believers dare to tread and never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What if we all meant to do what we secretly dream? What would you ask if you knew you could have anything? Like a mighty oak sleeps in the heart of a sea, are there miracles in you and me? If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where true believers dare to tread and never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step will I take today if I were brave? If I refuse to listen to the voice of fear, with the voice of courage whisper in my ear, I am brave enough to move ahead, where true believers dare to tread and never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step will I take Today I am brave. What will I do today? I am brave. What will I do today? I am brave. What will you do today? You are brave. What will you do today? You are brave. What will we do today? We are brave. What will we do today? We are brave. I am brave. You are brave. We are brave. We are brave.
What perfect lyrics, yeah? Wow. Thank you, you two. It's a different Sunday, man. It's a different moment. How y'all doing? Don't know where y'all came from, but I'm going to borrow a few of their lyrics. If I were brave. You know, it's interesting about words, because each word means something different to all of us. We mentioned brave, and a whole bunch of stuff comes up for us individually, right? What would I do if I knew that I could not fail? I'm wondering if some of the fear I've had in my past is because my fear might have been that I would succeed. I know, right? It's like, but I've been saying fail for years, and this, what would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? Keep doing it. If I believed, would the wind always fill up my sail? Sometimes we have to move even though we don't know if that is going to occur or not. Believed. If I believed it. How far would I go? What could I achieve? Trusting the hero in me. Boy, do we all have a hero. You can call it inner you can call it inner child, you can call it Mickey Mouse, man. But let me tell you what's happening there. There's a hero that lies within ourselves all the time. And it's been here. If you look at your life, all those times you thought you couldn't get through it, and your hero came in to help you love your way through it. That little part of us, that powerful part of us that says, let's do it. Let's do it. There's nothing better than the words, the phrase, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. So I asked it before, who likes making decisions? But, yeah, right. Who likes making tough decisions? Those are a blast. So I got a little quiz for you today. And if you want more of the answers, you'll see you Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Do you make, and just let them go like a river. Don't be holding on to them because I got 5 questions. Do you make decisions easily and effortlessly? See you Wednesday. Do you find making a decision stressful at times? Is your main concern in decision making that it has to be the right decision? Ah, yeah. I love the nod. We're all nodding together. It's cool. Do you make decisions from intuition or that famous pro and cons list? Yeah. Do you take, this is my favorite because boy was I guilty as charged. Do you take a poll with everyone you know before making a decision? I know that one hit the beep, beep, beep. Yes. Why do we do that? Because we need to maybe perhaps trust that we're able to make that decision. There's nothing wrong with getting some, well, advice. But what it is at the end of the day, I always make my own anyway. I used to go to my mom, Mom, things are really tough, blah, 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 blah. I was in L.A. This is that, I don't know what to do. I think I should move to New York. And then she'd go, well, maybe you should just hang out. No, I'm moving to New York. And then she would say, so why'd you ask, man? Well, why, you're going to do what you want to do anyway. What is the last big decision you made? And how did it feel to make that decision? It's all about decision and how it feels. We can overthink stuff till we're just overthought. It takes courage to decide to love yourself. You know you're not going to get out without a talk without my loving myself. I had a beautiful moment yesterday. I was at the beach getting ready to run. And Rita went ahead of me, and this gentleman walked up. He was probably in his 20s. And he said, what's that? He's looking at the side of my car that says Centers for Spiritual Living, Kauai. So you're going to put it out there, you got to answer the question. Do you know what I'm saying? He's like, what is that? And here's the car, and I'm on one side, and he's on the other. I started to tell him, and that little voice went off, going, don't preach, man. Papa, don't preach, don't preach. This guy doesn't need no preaching. Don't bring out the inner child now, man. Just listen, do some listening. Well, this is what we believe. He said, well, are you Bible-based? And I said, oh, here's the tricky one, right? Well, we've referred to the Bible from time to time, and then we got in this beautiful, wonderful, dynamic conversation. And we both believed something different. And it was so beautiful to wrap yourself around it. And he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and I took off my sunglasses because I said, you know, can't be talking like that with sunglasses on. And then I looked at him, I said, do you believe this is an accident? He said, no. I said, I believe you and I arrived right at the right time for us to be together right here. And I was like getting emotional. I knew it was divinely guided. And he said, I said, well, what do you believe? He goes, what do you believe about Jesus? I said, ooh, here's the other fun part. So I decided not to say that Jesus was the great example, not the exception. I thought I'd leave that one out in the conversation for a moment. And I said, what do you think? He said, well, I believe he came here because Father sent him down here to suffer so we wouldn't have to. And I said, oh, so why are we still suffering? And he was like this. And he was like this. Ooh. And he was getting comfortable, so he had his hands. We both had our on the car, like. So we were having this like prophecy thing going on, right? And I said, okay, decide the next one. Be still, be kind. And I said, we can talk all day, but this is about love. And if Jesus is about anything other than love, I'm not interested. I said, because I believe in self-love. He says, yes, but suffering teaches us obedience. Oh, look at you. And I went, perhaps it does. I said, but what if, this was how I left him, what if this power wanted us to live in joy? What if this power wanted to live in joy? And I said, do you love yourself? What? I said, you don't have to answer it, man. I work on loving myself every single day. And he said, love yourself, but we're supposed to do it. And then he said, what do you mean love yourself? I said, yesterday, on Friday, a gentleman walked into his place of employment and blew away 14 people. And he goes, wow. I said, it's okay. I watch the news occasionally. And he said, I'm going to ask you a question. If he loved himself, fully loved himself with every fiber of his body, could he have ever have done what he did? And he said, no. I said, would it be fair to say that loving yourself might be the #1 priority in our lives? And he looked at me kind of like, dude, who are you? what the hell, man? I just asked what was on your car, you know? And I'm like, oh, like coming on in like this. But I learned from him. And I walked around the car. And he said, thank you. He said, this has been one of the most important moments of my life. I said, mine too. And he went like this, and I said, can I hug you? And we walked around the car, and I could feel the breath of just going, oh, like he let out years of holding his breath. And I breathed into him, and he breathed into me. I decided that that was the moment, right? That's when we decide that's how important life is. And that's when I realized, because I've been asking a lot of questions lately about what's mine to do in this ministry? What's mine to do in the growing of CSL Kauai? What's mine to do with my life, with my purpose, with everything? I started asking these questions. And when I stayed there with that young man, I walked away like, I said, this is the greatest ministry that I could ever have, without planning it, without it just showing up. And I said, I am a walking ministry. Everywhere I go, I am. Yeah. Teach to fish, man. Give them the tools to fish. Yeah. So anyway, I want to talk just a moment, too, about Amanda Eller. Let's breathe in him for a moment, because I can feel him. We're just such teachers for one another. If we realize we are teachers. Well, Amanda Eller, I don't know if you heard about her, but she got lost in the jungle in Maui. Did you hear about her? And they found her. But I'm not going to get into all her story, because, as she said, I'm really not, because everybody's like, what's your story? What's your story? Did you sleep? I heard you slept with boars. We're so, you know what journey I was more interested in is what the heck was going on within you? And that's where she was at, too. But everybody was like, okay, what happened? And how many berries did you eat? And how did your feet get cut? And so conditions. I want to know, how do you feel? And she gave us some of them. And I want to share with you. So she was out there for 17 days, and they found her. And she's a yoga instructor. Just thought I'd throw that out since they got all that. But she said that she was on a spiritual journey when she was out there. She said, I never felt alone, and I never felt fearful. It was an opportunity to overcome every fear I had ever known. And this is the quote I love. And listen, I'm not at... Ooh. How they turn on you. Oh, you're all with me with my story with the young man. Oh, Patrick. Turning on me. Okay, so here's the deal. She was out there for 17 days, and they finally got her. But this is the point of decision making that I think is so powerful. She quoting her, it stripped away all of the comfort of the modern world, and all I could see was what was left. And I'm not advocating before the phone went off, by the way. Now I'm back on track. So I'm not advocating that for us to find ourselves, we need to go to a jungle. You can strip it all away right now and right here. We don't have to, unlike my friend who believes that there's a reward in suffering. There is not. There can be, but what if we could strip away all of what we think is so important, and we could stand there, the true spirit that we are, the true power that we are, and be able to use it and to caress it and to say, this is who I am. That doesn't take getting lost. And though she was lost for 17 days, there was times I've been lost for many, many years. Yeah, I'll hear an amen on that one. This is her best part of her journey. She stayed in one place by the waterfall so that she wouldn't continue to get lost. But it came down to this. I got goosebumps here, God bumps as I call them. It came down to life and death. And I had to choose, I had to decide. I chose life. I wasn't going to take the easy way out. She started walking, and she said, even though that meant more suffering because her feet were all messed up, she said, I'm going to go anyway because I got to move. She'd been sitting there for 14 days going like this and watching them go. And she said, I just said, mercy, come get me, come get me. And she said, I chose life, and this was it. She said, please pick me up. Please pick me up. And she realized that the pick me up was Spirit moving through her as her, and she started to move, even though it was still painful. And then, she said, I choose life. And with every step, she said, I choose life. She said, I saw my dad. I choose life. I saw my mom. I choose life. I saw my sister. I choose life. I saw my boyfriend. I choose life. And everything and that was on day 14, and then they found her on 17. So what did I get out of this? What did I get out of this? It has to be this important to us. Haven't you ever wondered why you've talked about something for so long and then never acted upon it? And then I have. I'm like, but I already decided. So the decision part isn't always the number one. First, you have to decide which one. I love this. I don't know what I want, and it's just making me so upset that I'm not getting it. Just like Rita was saying, choose what you want. But when I think there's even more, it has to be so important, right? Because if you haven't really attained it, it's because you never really said, this is important to me. It's worth all the doubts. It's worth all the fears. It's worth everything that stands in my way that says, no, Patrick, no, Patrick, no, Patrick, that I have to want it and believe in it so much that I can walk through it. That no matter what comes up to me, I can say no. I've made a decision. And I'm staying with it. We all know that when you make the decision, everything comes in to back you. Everything. Everything came in to help Amanda Eller when she did that. But she was sitting in one spot saying, find me, find me, find me. And then you just get to a point where you have to get up and you say, you know what? I'll find you. I'll find you. Yep. Doesn't it make you just, I don't know what it makes you do, but I'll tell you what it makes me do. I love so much this month of decision because it's even more than make a decision. It's about this month of believing in who we are and being able to act upon it. Can you imagine if I was 110, I look back, wouldn't it be horrible to wake up and all of a sudden you go, 110 and you look back and you said, did you know you could have had it all the time? It was all yours. It was all yours. And you're going, you've got to be kidding. Patrick was right? Rita was right? That it was right here, right now? So I'm going to end with this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful quote from our wonderful Raymond Charles Barker. Spiritual thinkers have realized the importance of directing the mind to get great ideas rather than keeping them at the level of daily routines which absorb you with the petty, tiresome, and the disconcerting. Here's the deal with that. I was telling Rita the other day, I got so wrapped up in, it was like kingdom of petty. I'm not kidding. Kingdom of petty. I mean, it was like, it would be like saying, do you use paper towels or napkins? And it became so important, right? And I'm looking at, and I'm like, what? And I caught myself in the kingdom of petty. And I went, I can't help but think of Tom Petty when I do that. But anyway, but the kingdom of petty, and I went, this is what happens. We're waiting to make the decision based on what shows up. Like Rita was talking about. What shows up to us. As soon as it shows up, I'll decide what to do. And I'm thinking, no, I am no longer living in the kingdom of petty. I am going to live in the kingdom of plenty. Ooh, I love that. I love the kingdom of plenty. Have I said lately that I love you? There is nothing more important in this world than loving yourself. Any decision made out of anything but love for yourself is going to be a very, very interesting outcome. I'll leave it at that. And I love myself, and after that beautiful, beautiful young man taught me, that's all we have to do is love ourselves. Love ourselves. Love ourselves. And so it is. Mahalo.
Okay, so
This is our time
as
of
our
affirmative
Malama
giving.
teams come forward, let's turn to our programs. This is our time of giving, and let's read our affirmation. That really says it all.
There you go.
There it is, right up there for you.
right
I
down.
freely and joyously give from the abundance and fullness of my overflowing wealth, knowing that gift goes with love as it touches and blesses Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, my life, and the world. And so it is. We have a new gratitude song.
We do indeed.
All that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Na 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 na. Grateful for it all. Na 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 na. Na 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 na, grateful for it all. So I lift up my hands now, and I open up my heart, and my gratitude goes out to everything near and far, all that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Na 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 na. Grateful for it all. Na 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 na. Grateful for it all.
Woo! So let's take a deep breath as we say mahalo. I am so grateful for everything in this basket, for everyone in this room, for this beautiful consciousness. I know that all these gifts go out to heal and prosper and bless the world and our own lives at the same time, because that's what the law of giving and receiving is. It is reciprocal and goes round and round and round. And I am grateful, and I just let it be so as we affirm together. And so it is. All right. Do we have children today? Oh. You are. We are all children. All right. So I'll ask the practitioners to come forward instead right now until they come. Practitioners that are serving today, okay. They are here to serve you if something's come up for you during the service or in life in general that you would like to know more truth about. They are here to know that truth for you. They shift consciousness by shifting their own consciousness about you, knowing, and then they basically, the law corresponds by their beliefs. So come up and have a treatment. It's a gift from our center. If you want something deeper than that, if you want to go into a session, there is a fee for that, and they'll tell you all about that. And there's a brochure up here that they'll give you, that we'll receive. All right, so take advantage of our beautiful, amazing practitioners. Okay, and now we have the kids. Yes.
Hey, Janice.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Hi, these guys are awesome. We had fun today. To talking about how animals make decisions and how we make decisions. And we read The Boy Who Searched for Silence and made Animal Mask.
That sounds like a very interesting title, you guys.
Yay.
The Boy Who Searched for Silence.
I
Wow.
have to read that one. All right, so should we give the children their blessing?
Yes, that's good.
Ready? You are amazing. You are perfect. You are magnificent. And we love you. Woo! Thank you, Janice. All right, I think that's it.
That's called the perfect
wow, we have
poker
lots
face.
of practitioners up here today.
Perfect
That's great.
Poker face.
Okay, so I think we're ready for our closing song. Let's go for it. Thank you.
Yeah.
We just have a whole bunch of new things today. Stand on up. Shake it out. Shake it out.
Written by Doreen.
This world that I live in reflects my desires. A world that works for everyone. A world where everyone thrives. I am love. I live my truth. I walk in faith. I stand for good. I am ready. I am able. I decide. I decide. It's a call from within, a place deep inside. I follow my heart and let my light shine. I am love. I live my truth. I walk in faith. I stand for good. I am ready. I am able. I decide. I decide.
So as we decide to live in this gratitude, in this wonderful sea of receptivity, what I do know is that I am so grateful for all of those that serve each Sunday to make this an absolutely wonderful gathering. And that goes with Charles always, just because of you, Charles. And we have Angela and Emma and Anna. Woo! And Michelle, that's the Malama team. And Michelle. Rob Jones, we know what he does. And our sound over there, Jonathan. And we have these beautiful flowers by Arlene and Peter. And Loya brought them also to just decorate our gathering. And we have Doreen, Doug, and Louise. And Roseanne ready to stand there for you for that Power of Decision book that everyone is back there doing. I see Emma and I see Anna. And I just want to bless this beautiful, beautiful co-spiritual director that stands with me, as me, and puts up with my wondrousness, my magnificence, and my childlike wonder. Oh, I love to smile. And all of our offline contributors and offline people that come every week to say, wow, I wish I was there. And you are. You're always right here in our hearts. So continuing to just bathe in this gratitude for each and every one of you that have brought your consciousness here today. I just say thank you. We are all in the one sea together, individually perhaps, but we are definitely coming from that one source. And with that, I am grateful. I let it be, as together we say. And so it is.
Okay, repeat after me. Here we go. Peace. Love. Joy. Abundance.
Abundance.
Peace. Love. Joy. Abundance. It is mine. 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 Here, sing with me. Ready. I am able. I decide. I decide. I am ready. I am able. I decide. I decide. decide, I decide, I decide.